was around 10 years ago when we heard from our friends at Asher Guitars that they were working on an instrument for Jackson Browne. And he was a big fan of vintage gold foil pickups and wanted something like that in his build. Bill Asher and Jason Lollar got to talking, realizing that they both had gold foils on the brain and were looking into tooling and whatnot. And one thing led to another. Bill suggested Jason run with the design, and before long, Jackson had the first prototypes in his guitar, and everyone agreed they sounded incredible. I mean, really great.
Since we released it, our TEISCO style gold foil has been one of our most popular pickups. And these days, you'll see them everywhere. They're in countless guitars, retrofits, modifications, vintage restorations, and new builds as well. It's easy to understand why. Gold foils have a unique sparkle, chime, snap, and clarity. And they have an eye-catching aesthetic that's classy, distinctive. They've taken their rightful place alongside other classic, bright, vintage single coil designs that we know and love. Your Strat pickups, your Tele pickups. Makes sense. Right.
This new gold foil humbucker, the Deluxe Foil, traces its origin to that single coil version that we designed. When we were doing R&D for new designs that would work well with the larger wide-range humbucker platform, gold foils immediately came to mind. I mean, we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could use that housing for a humbucking foil-style pickup? And as it turned out, the size allowed room for the dual-coil Deluxe Foil design.
So offering a brand new pickup with a unique sound that uses that footprint opens a lot of doors for players and builders. Tele Deluxes, Tele Customs, and other new builds that use wide ranges as well.
Exactly.
So I gotta ask, what's the story behind the design of the cover?
Well, part of the charm of the gold foil is how cool it looks, of course. And we wanted to reflect that and to do something with a retro feel. So I actually took part of the L from the Lollar logo and mirrored it to create the design. We did leave out the pull screws on this design, of course, which you may or may not have noticed. But in the single coil version, those are mostly just cosmetic anyhow, so it doesn't affect the sound.
Right, those are very short, so they don't affect the balance as much as the longer screws that you see in P90s or PAF style humbuckers. Honestly, what I like most about this new design is how versatile it is. I was really impressed with how it sounded great through cleaner vintage amps and more modern high gain styles as well.
The larger footprint relates directly to the sound and frequency response of a pickup. The size takes up a lot more real estate than many other pickups, so you end up capturing a wider range of frequencies.
Hence the name wide range.
Yep.
It literally picks up a wider range of frequencies than a smaller pickup would. So because of that larger footprint, the Deluxe Foil's voice is noticeably fuller in the low end and mid-range for a flatter EQ when you compare it to the single coil version. But it still shares some of the features that people love most about the single coil version. It's got that excellent clarity and touch sensitivity, along with rich top-end harmonic content.
And of course, it's higher output since it's a humbucking pickup. It's hotter and punchier. It's got more body than the single coil gold foil. And we build it with 4-conductor lead by default, so it's easy to wire up versatile switching configurations like coil splitting, series parallel, or in and out of phase. And speaking of coil splitting, its individual coils are virtually identical to the single coil version, so it's especially true to that sound in split coil mode.
That makes it very versatile. And it really does sound just like the single coil version when it's split. I'm really struck by how quiet it is at idle when it's used as a humbucker as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's even quieter than a lot of PAF style pickups when we compare them. And even though it cancels out the noise, it's less compressed than a traditional humbucker, so it remains very responsive.
Yeah, it's really touch sensitive, whether you're playing with a flat pick or fingerstyle. You really have a ton of different sounds at your fingertips.